Welcome to Wannabe. A jet pilot who saved 304 finds heroism. Robert Piche, born November 5th, 1952, is a Canadian pilot. On August 24th, 2001, he was captain of the Airbus A330 Flying Air Transat Flight 236 and managed to land the aircraft safely in the Azores after it lost all power due to fuel exhaustion. Nevertheless, the pilots returned to a hero's welcome from the Canadian press as a result of their successful unparred landing. The first reports were of a doomed flight salvaged at the last moment by quick thinking and heroism. But by now, the story of how a Canadian jet crossing the Atlantic survived disaster has changed into a tangle of missteps. For the 304 people on Air Transat Flight 236, a hard landing in the Azores provided a moment of miraculous relief. With neither of its engines working, the stricken plane glided safely, if in terrifying silence, almost 100 miles and landed without serious injuries. "I'm not a hero," says pilot, whose skill saved 300 people on plane. Toronto Air Transat Flight 236 was more than 7 miles above the Atlantic Ocean before dawn Friday when Captain Robert Piche heard the right engine stop. He started to descend slowly to reduce the strain on the remaining engine. 2 minutes later, the second engine failed. A check of the fuel gauges showed an unexpected leak had almost drained the fuel tanks. He had no engines working. 10 minutes of fuel left and a plane with 304 passengers and crew on their way from Canada to Portugal, he told the crew to prepare to ditch in the ocean. On Tuesday, Piche and two crew members calmly recounted at a news conference in Montreal what happened next on Miracle Flight 236. Combined with a report by Portuguese aviation authorities and passengers' statements, their accounts paint a portrait of a crew struggling to land the charter plane safely. Flight attendants retrieving the breakfast trays they had just distributed was the first signal to the just waking passengers that something was wrong with the Airbus A330. As attendants began to demonstrate emergency water landing procedures, a few people screamed. Many started to pray. In the cockpit, Piche and co-pilot Dirk D. Jagger were struggling to control the plane as it dropped quickly through the sky. At 6:13 a.m., Piche reached the control tower at a U.S. Air Force base on Terceira Island, a dot in the ocean 30 minutes and many miles away. While passengers donned life jackets, Piche steered the powerless craft like a glider toward the island, about 800 miles from Portugal. For 18 minutes, the plane rode the wind until the island was finally spotted. D. Jagger told the crew to prepare passengers for a rough ground landing instead of a splashdown. Using only basic instruments and instructions from the control tower, Piche guided the jet onto a short airstrip. Exactly 33 minutes after the first emergency call, the plane's tires touched down. The crew evacuated the passengers in less than 90 seconds. 10 people suffered minor sprains or fractures, but they were alive. 33 minutes is a long time to know you hold the fate of 305 people in your hands. But Piche said he thought of nothing but doing his job right. "It's not what pilots like to dream about," said Piche, who has been flying for 30 of his 49 years and mastered tricky landings as a bush pilot on Quebec's rugged Anticosti Island. "I'm not a hero," Piche said. Passenger Renato Marcelino on Sunday told Portuguese television that the last half hour before the emergency landing was brutal. "It was horrible. It was everything you could imagine." When he returned to Montreal, Captain Piche did not talk publicly about exactly what he had done when the first engine failed, or whether his sophisticated instruments were telling him the whole story. But answering a reporter's question about heroics, he said somewhat enigmatically, "I don't consider myself a hero, sir. I could have done without this." Yes, we love our heroes upright, exemplary, and fearless. That's what Robert Page, commander of the famous Air Transat Flight 236 in distress, learned. He was able to land the plane in the Azores on August 24, 2001, after the aircraft's engine had stopped working 18 minutes earlier. Nearly 12 kilometers over the Atlantic, the plane glided without power of 157 kilometers before landing. It shows everything is possible. For more videos, please subscribe, share, like, and comment below. Thanks for watching.